water for like one day for like.
What will happen to the human body if we don't get water for one day?
Yeah.
That's what you're saying.
If he doesn't drink water.
See, a person can survive a few days without water. A person can survive few days without water. Right now. So
Yeah.
although like if you don't take water for one day, so thereby you'd be feeling extremely thirsty and your body will suffer from thirst, and then you might develop fatigue or ultimately like if the person does not drink water in a for long time of days, it will lead to organ failure and obviously it will lead to death then. But in just one day it is not going to create much difference, because general consensus is that people can survive for around 3 to 4 days without water. But if you don't take water for one day, the obvious thing is that you're going to feel thirsty all day. So hope that
Sir,
answers your
is
question.
there any deficiency disease will happen to the person?
What will happen?
Is there any deficiency disease that will
No,
happen to the person?
no. In one day, there isn't going to be any deficiency disease.
No, for like many days, like
Yeah.
one week person.
See, in one week, the person will simply die. Or like after 3 days, the person will simply die because your organ will stop functioning. There would be organ would fail. It will cause extreme thirst, fatigue. Organ will fail and the person would die.
Oh,
So there's no discussion regarding deficiency disease. Okay, no, that's a different thing. So that's it for today. We'll be meeting in next class then. Yes, Abu, how are you?
Sir,
All right. So let us continue what we were doing. And in the previous class, you guys gave a test. Okay, now. So give me a moment. Let me take out your question paper. Okay, now. Is my screen visible to you?
sir, we can see the
Okay.
old one only.
One moment. Just give me a moment. Let me take your question paper. Okay. So Let us discuss the questions in your test paper. Put on your camera on in the class. Priyanka hasn't joined yet. See, for the first question, which of the following is not an indicator that occurs naturally? That is option number D. Your answer is correct for the first one. I was waiting for Sumia to join, but anyways, which of the following indicators are typically found as strips? So that is litmus paper. That one is also correct for you. Very good. When the soil is too basic, thereby organic matter is added. What you have answered in this one, calamine solution. No. See, upon addition of organic matter, they would be releasing acids into the soil. They would be releasing acids into the soil. Okay, now. So what happens? The soil is too basic. It is too basic. The pH of the soil would be, let us say that it might be around, say that 11 or 10, let us say 10. So this is basic. It has to be brought down near to the 7. That is, 7 is a neutral. At 7, the substance is neither acidic, neither basic. So if soil is too basic, thereby organic matter like manures, compost, or manures are added into the soil, and upon addition of this, acids are released into it, and thereby it will react with the basic soil and bring its pH near to 7 and make the soil neutral. That is organic matter. Okay. So for the third one, you 1 mark will be deducted for this. Then for the next one, a neutralization reaction, you have answered reaction between, you have chemical and reversible change, you have answered it to be. No, it's a chemical change that cannot be reversed. Okay, Abu. Like you have, for example, HCl and NOH. Hydrochloric acid and sodium hydroxide reacts to form sodium chloride and give water. Now, after having obtained this, you can't get back sodium hydroxide or hydrochloric acid. You can't get back the acids and base. So that cannot be reversed. And in general, a chemical change is irreversible in nature. We have learned that. Question number 5, on adding the phenolphthalein indicator to a colorless solution, no change is observed. What is the nature of this solution? On adding the phenolphthalein indicator to a colorless solution, no change is observed. What is the nature of the solution? So you answer either acidic or basic. How can that be? We learned that on adding the phenolphthalein indicator to a colorless solution, if no change is observed, then we learned that the nature of the solution can be alkaline now in this one. I mean to say, it can be acidic now. You have, okay, you have answer acidic and neutral. Then it is correct. If no change is observed, if it remains colorless, then it would be acidic and neutral also. Okay, then it is correct. Either acidic or neutral. This one is correct. Let us see what you answer for question number 6. State whether the following statements are true or false. True or false. All substances are either acidic, basic, either acidic or basic. The first statement is clearly false because there are some neutral substances also. Second statement is also false. Okay, your answer is correct for the first two. For C, you have answered true. Lime water turns red litmus blue. That is true. Good. For D1, you have answered false. Yeah, that is also true. Now, in this question, tartaric acid is found in unripe mangoes. That is true. Calcium hydroxide, you have answered this one as lime water. Very good. Formic acid and dusting. Good. Sodium hydroxide, soap. Good. Lactic acid found in curd. Good. A marble tile would feel cold. It is a poor conductor of heat than the wooden tile. No, that is not the reason. See, a marble tile would feel cold as compared to a wooden tile on a winter morning because it is a better conductor of heat than the wooden tile. Try to understand this concept. Thing is that A marble tile is a better conductor of heat than a wood. The reason is that when you step on the marble, there what happens? Heat transfer from your body to the marble. Like heat transfer from your palm, heat from your palm transfers to that marble tile on which you are standing. Getting it? Heat is transferring. Your body is having a high temperature. This will be having a lesser temperature. Let's say 20 degrees Celsius. So heat transfers from a hotter body to a colder body. So when you step on a marble tile, the heat transfer from your palm to the marble tile. So this is the reason why you feel colder when you step on the marble tile. Getting it now? Whereas wood is the bad conductor of heat. This question we did in the class also. Understood this or not? Option number 8. Question 9 you have answered. You answered the A. Yeah, that is correct. Good. Question number 10. If mercury expands when heated, that's why when it comes into contact with a hot object, its level rises. Correct. That one is also correct. Question number 11. Tea will be warmer. Okay, heat is directly hitting the hand. Good. Or basically the vapors are directly hitting your hand. That is the reason. Fill up the boxes with P and T. You haven't done that. See, in the first case, obviously, your hand is getting heated. Why? Because convection is taking place here now. In this one, convection is taking place, while in the second case, radiation will be taking place now. In this one, radiation is taking place. Okay, now it is convection and convection, convection and radiation. Shopkeepers selling ice blocks usually cover them with jute sacks. So you're required to answer that. Why shopkeepers selling ice blocks usually cover them with jute sacks? It is because heat cannot pass through them. Yeah, that sums up the answer. They would be covering with jute sacks because materials like sawdust or jute bags, they would be acting as insulator, and insulators does not allow heat to escape or to pass through them. That's why it keeps the ice intact for a longer period of time. Ice will not melt immediately. Also, you know that by covering the ice with salt, also it will protect it from melting. You know that Boo. We can use sawdust. You know what a sawdust is now?
Yes, sir.
Sawdust can be used and salt can also be used in order to prevent it from melting. So in total, I think 3 and this one. This one, the second you're not able to answer. So there were 11 questions and you were unable to answer, you didn't answer the 3 questions and half. Okay, now? So that is 7.5 out of 11. Okay, now. So the questions in which you did mistake, like the
Sir,
second,
for the
yes,
sir, for the 12th one, sir, sir, the screenshot sent in that sir, the A and B was not written. Only the question was written.
oh, okay, okay, yeah, I remember that. I wrote that later on. Yeah, okay, no, okay, okay. So thereby, no, just in this one, what have you given the answer? By the way, the question is in itself it is incomplete. Question was incomplete in this one actually, but you have answered the first part of it. Okay, okay. So thereby, oh, one moment. So thereby, out of 11, you would be getting 8 marks. Okay, no. Okay, Priyanka hasn't joined today, no?
No, sir.
Not yet. That is 8 marks out of 11. Okay, no? And make sure that where you have done mistakes, make sure that you revise that concept. All right. So let us continue with what we were doing in the previous class. We were learning about physical and chemical changes. We learned about physical changes, the properties of physical changes. We had several examples of physical changes as well. Okay, now. We also learned about chemical changes in everyday life. Apart from respiration and photosynthesis, we had a number of examples of this one also. Okay. So let us continue from here. Today we'll be learning about chemical changes in much detail. We learned that chemical changes can be can be spontaneous also, and it can be man-made also. Chemical change can be spontaneous as well as man-made. Some of the man-made changes are as follows, like combustion of fuel, cleaning the tiles with dilute hydrochloric acid, softening of hard water. Uh, we learned that hard waters can be softened. We learned that hard waters. Right now, we learned that basically hard water is basically because of presence of calcium or magnesium in it. Uh, Also, I did told you one of the way to distinguish between hard water and cold water. Do you remember? Like in soft water, say you have a glass of soft water. In soft water, like calcium or magnesium will not be found in soft water. So you have a soft water. Basically, it's a clear and clean water. Lots of bubbles will be formed in it. When you pour water from one glass to another, lots of water will be formed in it. But in the case of hard water, it will feel a bit heavier to drink. Also, there will be no bubbles in the hard water. No bubbles in it. Right now. So in order to soften the hard water, certain chemicals will be added into it. So that is also one such example of a chemical reaction. Getting it now? Is that clear to you?
Yes.
Also do tell me, like in your school, currently which chapter is going on in your school?
Sir, now no chapter is going on.
It is going on.
No, sir, no chapter. Now
New chapter.
exam started. So,
What is the name of chapter?
sir, the exams have started. So then, they are not teaching any chapters.
Oh, okay. So revision is going on. Okay. So exams are also near now. So by the way,
No, sir, exam started. So then they are not teaching anything.
okay. The exam has already started, and science exam hasn't happened yet.
No, sir.
Okay. So how about we do one thing, like from the chapter nutrition in animals, we do some questions. You will get to revise that chapter too. Since the exams are upcoming.
Okay.
Okay, now that will be, I think, better to do. That will be the better thing to do. Okay, now. So let us practice some questions from chapter number 2, that is nutrition in animals. Okay. There are a few important questions I'm going to ask you from this chapter. Okay. First of all, do tell me, like if I were to ask you to check for the presence of starch in the saliva or in the food, how would you test for the presence of the starch in saliva or in the food, like potato, rice, or a slice of bread?
Iodine test.
Iodine test. Okay, then you drop some iodine in the food sample. Then what happens?
It turns blue back black.
Blue black. Then what is the original color of iodine? It is
Dark blue.
dark blue, right? And it is actually not that much dark blue. Okay, now, right now, it will convert into black, blue black, as it comes in contact with the starch solution. Furthermore, do tell me, in your mouth, the saliva is digesting what part of the food? Which component of the food is digested in your mouth? Is it protein? Is it starch? Is it fat?
Start.
Starch is digested. Okay. Is the complete digestion taking place in your mouth?
No.
No. Okay. You tell me, why do we get hiccups?
But
What is the?
low water,
Mhm. You do?
low water in our
No,
body.
no, that is not the main reason for hiccups. You see, the windpipe that is trachea, it carries air from our nostril to our lungs now. And then you have another food pipe called as esophagus that carries food from mouth to stomach. Carries food from mouth to stomach. Look at this image over here. There are two pipes running down your neck. One is trachea. This is trachea. This one over here where I'm highlighting. And another one is the food pipe, via which food goes into your mouth. Food goes into the stomach via esophagus. Now the windpipe runs adjacent to the food pipe in your body. Windpipe is adjacent, meaning side. It is sideways to the food pipe. And also, um, here in your throat now, this is your throat area. Here you would observe that the the food and air, it shares a common passage actually. It shares a common passage. Getting it? You're in your throat. The food and air shares a common passage. What happens? Then the question comes at how the food which we eat is prevented from entering our food pipe. So there's a gateway mechanism. There's a structure called as epiglottis. There's a flat piece of cartilage called as epiglottis that covers the windpipe. Whenever you are eating something now, then it covers the windpipe. So normally when we swallow food, then this epiglottis covers our windpipe and prevents food from entering into our food pipe. Normally this is what happens. Sometimes, however, when we eat food too fast, or when you get suddenly very excited while eating the food, or you speak a lot while eating food, or you laugh while eating the food, then a little of the epiglottis remains open. Then this remains open, due to which some of the food particles may enter the food pipe. And when food particle enters into the food pipe, then the windpipe may get hiccups, or it develops or gives you a choking sensation right now. It also produces a gulping sound, like in Hindi we call this as hichki, right? A gulping sound is also produced. Getting it? You tell me, what are the four different types of teeth? Before you answer that question, do tell me that this blockage in the windpipe, how does that get cleared? How do we get rid of hiccups? How do we get rid of hiccups? Yes,
By drinking water.
normally by drinking water. Uh, like you can try to hold your breath for some time, right now, or drink very cold water. So that will help.
Sir,
Many times.
if you take 7 small sips and then
Mhm.
hold your breath for 5 seconds, then the hiccups will go.
Will go. Or many times it is like people would be taking a small amount of lemon or vinegar. You'd be tasting a small amount of vinegar or lemon. That can also help. Anyways, there are some more important questions. I was asking you about the type of teeth. What are their role? There are three questions I'm going to ask you. What are the four types of teeth found in the mouth? Then explain their function, and what type of teeth have got same function?
Incisors is for this incisor, canine, molar, premolar. For incisor, it is for cutting cutting food. Canine is for tearing food. Molar is for crushing food, and premolar is also for crushing food.
The appropriate word would be to grind the food. Molars and premolars, their function is to chew and grind the food. Okay. How many premolars are there in the human mouth?
One,
Only one premolars.
not
Oh,
three.
look at this image once again. Look at the image, then answer to me. How many premolars are there in each jaw?
Two.
In each jaw, only two, or are they not four?
Each jaw four.
In each jaw, there are four premolars. Now? Okay, two on each side, four in total. And if you count both the jaw, 4 into 2, that is 8. In total, 8 are there. Okay, what about molar? How many molars are there?
Three.
3. So 6 in each jaw, right? 3 on each side, 6 in each jaw. Okay. Also, do tell me that in the milk teeth, molars are present in the milk teeth, or is it absent? Molars are present in the milk teeth.
In the milk teeth, they are not there.
They are not present. They are only present in the permanent teeth. Okay, na? So most of the adults have how many permanent teeth?
Three.
No, I'm talking about not molar. I'm talking in total. How many teeth are there?
32.
Okay. We learned about ruminants in the class. We learned about ruminants also. Yeah. We learned about the ruminants. Do tell me, what do you mean by cud? C-U-D, cud.
The half digested food.
Half digested food, that is cud, right now. So also do tell me this thing, that what do you mean by rumination? What is rumination? RUMINATION.
Animals that when animals digest the food two times.
2 times. See, basically the thing is, read this definition. It's a process where animals rechew the cud to break down plant matter further and stimulate the digestion further. That is called as rumination. That is basically rechewing the food. Is called as rumination. It is done by most of the herbivorous animals. You know? How many chambers are there in the stomach of a cow? How many chambers are there? There are 4 chambers. Okay, na? There are 4 chambers. Namely, they are rumen, then reticulum, omesum, and obemesum. There are 4 chambers in the. It's not like there are 4 separate stomachs. There are 4 chambers of the stomach. Okay, do tell me, like, in one of the chamber, there's a cellulose digesting bacteria is found in one of the chamber of the cow. In which chamber it is found? Is it found in the rumen or obemesum? It is found in the rumen. Okay, Abu. It's a bacteria present in the rumen of a cow that starts to digest the carbohydrate, that is cellulose. It starts to digest cellulose. Keep that in mind. Also, you know that the length of the small intestine of The herbivores like cattle, they are longer as compared to humans. Why is it so? Why is it that so? Because you know that cellulose, which is a type of a carbohydrate, it takes lots of time to digest. Takes lots of time to digest. So thereby, it would be stored for, like, if the length of small intestine is longer, it will be stored for uh, more time in the small intestine. Thereby, it will be slowly digested. That is the reason why length of the small intestine is more in the ruminants like cattle. Also, that cellulose digesting bacteria found in the rumen, it is absent in the human body. That's why we say that human body cannot digest the cellulose. Right? Like in class 6, you must have studied in the chapter components of food that about roughage, also called as a dietary fiber. That roughage is basically you get it from eating plant-based foods, green leafy vegetables, fruits, etc. And that roughage is nothing but basically made up of cellulose. So our body is unable to digest roughage. The reason being that there is no cellulose digesting bacteria found in our body. Also, we don't have the enzyme called as cellulase to digest cellulose. Okay. Then answer this to me that uh, like which is the largest gland in the human body? Which is the largest gland in the human body? Yes. But before that, no. Answer one question to me. What are the three digestive glands in our body? Are they liver, pancreas? Yeah, liver, salivary gland, liver, and pancreas. We learned about that. Abu, you haven't memorized the chapter well, I think. Yes, I think you haven't revised this chapter properly. See, we talked about salivary gland. We talked about salivary gland. Salivary gland secretes saliva, and the salivary gland is found in like the number of salivary gland is three. One, two, and this three. Like look at this one over here. One, two, and three. Salivary gland is one of the gland. It helps to swallow the food by making it watery, by making the medium liquid. Helps in helps in speech also. Meaning that helps in talking also. Like if your mouth is very dry, thereby you'd be having a difficulty in speaking. If you tend to speak for a longer period of time, like you are giving a speech somewhere, then after an hour or so, then you'd be required to take some water because saliva will dry up in your mouth. So saliva actually helps to keep your mouth, um, helps in speech as well. It helps in tasting different things, lubricates your mouth, and it also protects you against harmful bacteria. These are the things we learned about it. We need to also learn about liver. If you can recall, we did learn about liver as well. And liver is the largest gland in the body now. This is the largest gland. Then we learned about pancreas as well. Do tell me, like there are finger-like projections found on the body of amoeba. What do we call them as? They are finger-like projection on the body of amoeba. What is the name of that projection? Hello, Abu. I suppose I'm audible to you, and you can hear me.
Yes, sir, you're audible.
See, my question is, see, if If you are not able to answer, then just let me, sir. I can't recall the concept. So thereby the discussion can be smooth. Okay, now if you take a long pause, then like our time would be wasted now. Like your time would also be wasted. So just say, sir, I'm unable to recall the concept. There are finger-like projections on the body of amoeba. First of all, amoeba, we know that it's a unicellular organism that has no fixed shape. Its shape keeps on changing. In order to eat food, it will form false legs called as pseudopodia, and they look like finger-like structure. Getting it? Okay. So
Yes, sir.
starting from the mouth, I'm going to ask you several questions again. First of all, one more thing. What are the steps of nutrition in the human body? Answer that one. What are the steps of nutrition? Isn't it ingestion, digestion? Huh? We learned about this ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation, then excretion. You take the food via your mouth. Huh? Then we learned about alimentary canal. Alimentary canal, it is made up of various parts and it is made up of digestive glands. It is made up of various parts like your mouth, food pipe, small intestine, stomach, large intestine, and then the anus. Then there are some digestive glands like liver, pancreas, and salivary gland. Liver secretes bile juice, pancreas secretes pancreatic juice, and salivary glands secretes saliva. All of them assist in the process of digestion. Getting it now? We learned about that one as well. Then we learned about our mouth. In mouth, we learned that starch gets digested in the mouth. And digestion of digestion of starch starts in your mouth. We learned about the role of tongue as well. We learned about teeth in this also. We learned about toothache as well. You tell me that what is the role of tongue? Does tongue help in any way in the digestion of food? And apart from digestion, is there any other role of tongue? I suppose I'm still audible to you.
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Answer this question. Yes. In the chapter, I believe there are few concepts that you need to revisit. There are several concepts that you need to revisit about. I think you have forgotten a lot of things in this chapter. Huh? You have forgotten a lot of things in this chapter. There are few questions which I'm giving you to answer. First of all, I'd be giving you some multiple choice questions. Okay, na? So multiple choice questions. Like you tell me, like for example, you tell me out of the following option: glucose, starch, cellulose, and take this one, sucrose. The question, read the question. If I write it, lots of time will be wasted. I'm saying that out of these four components, to tell me which of the following is digested by saliva.
Starch.
Starch, na good. Okay, then to tell me what is the length of small intestine. What is the length of a small intestine? Okay, would you like to have some options? Like, do tell me, is it 1.5 meter? Is it 2.5 meter? Is it 7.5 meter, or is it 4.5 meter?
1.5.
How much? No.
1.5.
Repeat again. Which option? It's almost around 7, no? 7.5 meter. Okay, no? Furthermore, do tell me, fat present in our food. Where does complete digestion of fat takes place? Is it in the stomach? Is it in the mouth? Or is it in the small intestine? Small intestine. Or the D one, is it in the large intestine? Where does fat is digested completely? Simple one. First, start by eliminating the options. Okay, C1, that is correct. Very good. Fat in the small intestine is converted into what? You tell me that thing also. Fat is converted into what? What is the simpler form of fat? Like we know protein is converted into amino acids, not glucose. How can fat be converted into glucose? Glucose is a completely different thing. It's a type of carbohydrate. Fat is converted into fatty acids and glycerol now. Fatty acids and glycerol now. Okay. Do tell me, the digestion of a particular food in the small intestine is producing amino acids. Listen carefully to me. The digestion of a particular food in the small intestine produces amino acids. So this food must contain mainly carbohydrate, or should it mainly contain fat, or should it contain mainly protein? Take one more option, or should it mainly contain vitamin? Protein, correct. It contains protein. Okay. Do tell me, the part of your tooth, the part of your tooth which contains nerve and blood vessels, what do you call that part as? Do you call this as pulp, or do you call this as pulp cavity, or do we call this as gum, or is it known as enamel, or do we call it dentine? Enamel is a different thing. No, enamel is the layer of teeth. Basically, um, it's the hardest substance in the human body, you know, and it basically form the layer over your teeth is made up of enamel. The white layer above your teeth is basically enamel. The hard, shiny outer layer of your teeth is enamel. So option C is incorrect. Basically, it's pulp cavity. Have a look at this image once again. Uh, See, we learned about tooth decay. We learned about tooth decay now. So we learned about pulp also. This pulp, right? The bacterial infection reaches up to the pulp cavity and then to the blood vessels also. That is pulp cavity. Enamel is a different thing. Enamel is basically the hard outer shiny layer of teeth, and it is also the hardest substance in your body. think Abu, so is your mic not working? Do tell me that which of the following animal can digest cellulose carbohydrate present in them? Is that cow? Is that a lion or a cat or a human being? Which one of them can digest the cellulose carbohydrate? That is cow. Which one you have answered? Cat. Listen to the question carefully, Abu. The question is that which of these following can, I'm not saying can't, I'm saying can digest cellulose carbohydrate present in the food. Which one of them can digest cellulose? Obviously, it is going to be herbivore animal, no? That is cow. Do tell me which part of your body secretes mucus? Which part of your body secretes mucus? Also, explain its role also. What is the role of mucus? Explain that as well. See, basically, while we were discussing about the stomach, there we learned few important things. Stomach, we learn few important things like it is the widest part of your alimentary canal. It's a bag like having a U shape. It's a bag like a structure having a U shape. The inner lining of the stomach secretes mainly three things: mucus, hydrochloric acid, and pepsin. Function of the hydrochloric acid was to it's an acid that kills the harmful bacteria that enters your stomach along with the food. Okay, now furthermore, hydrochloric acid makes the medium of the food acidic. Why it makes the medium of food acidic? Obviously, it is acid. That's why the medium will be acidic. But the main thing is that pepsin will activate only if the medium is acidic. The role of pepsin is to digest the protein found in the food. Okay, now that is the role of the pepsin. It's an enzyme that breaks down protein. But for pepsin to get activated, hydrochloric acid has to be secreted. And since it's having a pH around 2 to 3, and thereby it's a strong acid, so it can damage your stomach. In order to protect the inner lining of the stomach from the action of this hydrochloric acid, mucus is also secreted. Hope you have answered it. Do one thing. Your exam is day after tomorrow, right? No, on next month you said to me, no? Okay, you have sufficient time, but still I believe that you need to revise the chapter properly. A lot of basic things you haven't memorized about. Do tell me, this year, this session, you have been making notes of the chapter or not? Yeah, it's on June 24th of June. You told me yesterday. Make sure that you are revising the concepts properly. Okay. Okay. Do tell me, like in the case of the tongue, we learned about different taste buds as well. If you can recall. Say, for example, if you were to taste the neem leaves, which part of your tongue will be actively tasting the neem leaves? Will detect the bitter taste of the neem leaf. The front part or the back part? Front portion or the back portion of your tongue? Is is your mic not working? Abu, is your mic not working today? How do you be able to answer the questions in this manner? But my voice is coming to you in coming to your voice. Okay, okay. Do tell me that what is the site of complete digestion in the human body? Which is the site of complete digestion in the human body? Let me write it.
Small intestine.
Small intestine. Very good. Now your voice is properly coming. By the way, that is small intestine. It's the site of complete digestion. Okay. Then what about vitamins and minerals? Do they also get converted into simpler substances? Abu? Yes. Do vitamins and minerals also get broken down into simpler substances? Or are our body able to absorb them? My voice is not coming to you. Okay? Hello.
It's
It's low.
yes,
Hello. Yeah. Am I audible now?
yes, sir. Your voice is coming.
Okay. Good. So my question to you was that there are different components of the food, like vitamins and minerals are also one of the component of the food. So do tell me, do they also not get broken down into simpler substances, or is it that our body can absorb them the way they are?
Our body can absorb them.
Absorb them now. There's no need to convert it into any other simpler substances. Okay, what is oral dehydration solution? In short, it is ORS. And how can you make oral dehydration solution at home? Yes, Sabu, what is oral dehydration solution?
Sir, is it like soft
Or
drinks?
it is like, no, soft drink is a different thing. Oral dehydration solution, it's basically an electrolyte. It's a salt and sugar based solution. Salts and sugars are present in ORS, meaning that there will be a mixture of glucose, mixture of sodium, mixture of salt in it, right now. So it's a salt and sugar based solution. And if a person suffers from diarrhea, some person is suffering from loss of water, that is basically dehydration, thereby at that time ORS is given. If sometime, unfortunately, if you happen to become sick and if you're feeling weak, or as a kid, many times it happens that children suffer a lot from diarrhea. You have disconnected. Abu, I think you're having some network issue. Hello? Hello? See, I think you're having some network issue today. Anyways, so do one thing that keep on revising this chapter. Do one thing after the class, take an hour of time and revise this chapter. And if you have any doubts, please do let me know in the next class, because I can observe that you need revision in this chapter. Okay, no?
Yes.
Okay, so that's it for today. We'll be meeting in next class, and Allah Hafiz.
Allah